For 47 years, Voyager 2 drifted silently through the darkness of space until now. A sudden signal, unlike anything it ever sent, just arrived on Earth. Scientists thought it was a malfunction until they saw the pattern. Something out there moved, and it moved with purpose. What Voyager 2 just revealed may be the first sign that we're not alone. In the summer of 1977, while much of the world was focused on disco, Star Wars, and Cold War tensions, NASA launched a spacecraft that would quietly become one of the greatest achievements in human history, Voyager 2. It wasn't designed for glory or fame. It had no crew, no return mission, just a small nuclear-powered probe sent into the unknown. Voyager 2 was part of a twin mission, alongside Voyager 1, to explore the outer planets of our solar system. But it was the only spacecraft in history to fly by all four gas giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. It discovered Neptune's great dark spot, saw lightning on Jupiter, unveiled Uranus' tilted magnetic field, and even revealed the complex structure of Saturn's rings. It was the ultimate explorer. No politics, no human error, just cold, perfect science. But after its planetary tour, Voyager 2 kept going, straight into the abyss of interstellar space. By 2018, it crossed the heliopause, the invisible bubble, where the solar wind from our sun dies out and the true galaxy begins. Since then, it has continued to send home small bursts of data, dust densities, plasma waves, cosmic rays. Harmless, silent, routine, until recently. Because now, nearly 12 billion miles from Earth, something has changed. Voyager 2 sent a signal that shouldn't exist, and what it may have encountered defies explanation. For years, Voyager 2 floated through interstellar space, far beyond the last planet, beyond Pluto, beyond the heliopause, the boundary where our sun's influence ends. Out here, there's no light, no warmth, and nothing expected but silence. But in July 2025, that silence broke. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory noticed something strange in the data coming from Voyager 2's plasma wave instrument. A brief spike, just a few seconds long. At first, it was dismissed as a fluke, static interference, maybe a cosmic ray hit, or a hardware glitch. After all, Voyager 2 is almost 50 years old. Its ancient tech running on mere kilobytes of memory. But the anomaly repeated itself. And this time, it wasn't just a spike. The data carried a pattern, a rhythm. You see, plasma wave instruments usually measure variations in the density of charged particles in space. Cosmic dust, magnetic fields, simple things. But this was different. The signal pulsed. It wasn't random. It looked organized, structured. The team cleaned up the raw telemetry. They applied filters, ran it through signal analysis software. What they found made everyone stop. It was as if Voyager 2 had picked up a transmission. And then came the chilling realization, whatever this was, it wasn't natural. No known celestial body could create this kind of rhythm. No comet, no pulsar, no black hole. And Voyager 2, despite being ancient, was still precise. Its instruments, though old, are incredibly reliable. Engineers checked for system malfunctions. Solar flare interference, hardware decay, nothing explained it. And then they noticed something even more unsettling. The signal's origin point wasn't just anywhere in space, it was moving. When the team at NASA dug deeper into the signal's data, they realized something far more disturbing than a strange rhythm or pulse. Because what Voyager 2 detected was moving. And it wasn't just moving randomly. Roughly 500,000 kilometers from the probe, about the distance from Earth to the Moon. A faint but detectable object was recorded by the onboard instruments. Not optically, it's far too dark and distant for that, but through indirect measurements. Plasma density shifts, magnetic field disturbances, and tiny fluctuations in Voyager's trajectory stabilizers. At first, it seemed impossible. Nothing should be out there. That region of space is empty. No known asteroids, no rogue planets, no predicted comets. Just cold, vast silence. But this something had velocity, and worse, it was adjusting that velocity. It began matching Voyager 2's path. Not perfectly, but close enough to suggest intentional tracking. Imagine a predator trailing just behind its prey. Not too close, not too far, just watching. Matching pace, learning. Voyager 2, a spacecraft with no propulsion, can't dodge or change course. It simply drifts, following the momentum given to it in 1977. But now, it seemed something else was drifting with it. NASA wasn't alone in their concern. The anomaly was shared, quietly, with independent astronomers and deep space monitoring stations. They confirmed it. Multiple instruments, thousands of miles apart, were picking up the same disturbances. Subtle, but undeniable. This object, whatever it was, wasn't a glitch. It was real, and it was active. And here's where the fear set in. Objects in space don't track other objects unless they're under intelligent control. So the question became, who or what is following Voyager 2? While Voyager 2 continued drifting silently through the darkness, the data stream it sent back to Earth was anything but silent. Among the telemetry, hidden within the usual packets of scientific readings, was something else. An unauthorized digital signal. Voyager 2 is not programmed to send surprises. Its communication system is decades old. It transmits basic instruments data, temperature, particle density, magnetic fields. That's it. But this signal was foreign. Inside it, engineers discovered a compacted binary packet. Not part of Voyager's internal software, not part of any known system update. And when decoded, the numbers formed shapes, geometrical patterns, spirals, loops, intersections that mirrored ancient mathematical structures. At first glance, it looked like digital noise, but when visualized, the shapes were too precise, too repetitive to be accidental. Some scientists said it resembled glyphs, symbols. Others compared it to crop circle geometry, or even early human iconography, the kind found carved into stone thousands of years ago. But these weren't human, and they weren't random. They were structured. NASA brought in AI experts, linguists, astrophysicists. They ran contextual analysis, fractal breakdowns, pattern recognition algorithms. The result? The structure matched what we would expect from a deliberate transmission. But it didn't come from Voyager 2. It came through it, as if something else had hijacked the signal, or embedded itself in the transmission stream, like a parasite hiding inside the host. The implications were staggering. Something out there was not just moving, it was speaking, and it was using humanity's own spacecraft to send its message. Was it a warning, a test, a way of saying, "We see you"? No one could say for sure. But the timing, the patterns, and the precision of the signal all pointed to the same chilling possibility. Voyager 2 was no longer just a probe. It had become a messenger for something else. When the signal was confirmed, the response wasn't celebration, it was panic. Inside NASA, scientists were split. One group saw this as a historic moment. This is it, proof that we're not alone. The other group wasn't so hopeful, because this wasn't like detecting a far-off radio blip from a distant galaxy. This was close, it was targeted, and it had intention. If this was truly a message, it wasn't being sent to anyone randomly. It was sent through our spacecraft, almost as if it had been waiting. Worse still, it wasn't the first time. As the data team dug through Voyager archives, a young analyst at JPL stumbled on something strange. Decades earlier, in the 1990s, Voyager 1, which had passed through the same region of interstellar space, had logged a similar anomaly. At the time, it had been dismissed as a hardware error, static, a glitch. But now, they reanalyzed that old data using modern AI decryption tools. And the result? The same pattern, the same frequency signature, the same unnatural fluctuation in plasma wave data. A near-perfect match to what Voyager 2 had just recorded. This changed everything. If both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 experienced the same anomaly, decades apart, in the same area of space, then this wasn't a coincidence. This was a location, a place where something waits. It meant we hadn't just been observed once. We had been watched for a very long time. And that raises a terrifying question. If they were watching us back then, why are they responding only now? Across scientific circles, debates erupted behind closed doors. Some insisted this was contact. Others feared it was a trap. And while theories flew like sparks across think tanks and observatories, one thing was undeniable. This was no longer theoretical. Voyager 2, our most distant explorer, had just confirmed what humanity had feared all along. We're not alone. And we never were. Tracking the object near Voyager 2 revealed something even more disturbing. It wasn't just following a straight path. It was changing direction. Not through gravitational pull, not through collisions or cosmic drift, but in ways that defied the laws of physics. Its trajectory bent unnaturally, as if it were manipulating the very space around it. Every simulation using known physics failed. No comet, asteroid, or rogue planet behaves like this. But there was a theory, a terrifying one. A former JPL propulsion specialist leaked part of an internal report describing the object's path as consistent with spatial distortion, the kind predicted in Alcubierre drive models. A theoretical warp field, bending space-time to travel without moving. And then came the magnetometer data. Voyager 2 detected rapid fluctuations in nearby magnetic fields, tight, torus-shaped pulses. These are not natural. In fact, they closely resemble energy readings produced in simulations of faster-than-light travel. Could something be cloaking itself, bending light and gravity to stay hidden until it didn't? It wasn't just drifting anymore, it was behaving reactively. Meaning, it responded only after Voyager transmitted. Which begs the question, was this object trying to stay hidden until we noticed it? Or worse, did we wake it up? As scientists focused on Voyager 2's signal, a strange pattern began to emerge back on Earth. Across the globe, radio telescopes in Chile, Australia, and South Africa started detecting faint, almost imperceptible bursts of energy. At first, these signals were dismissed as background noise, until someone matched the timing. They were arriving in sync with Voyager 2's transmissions, factoring in the delay caused by the 12 billion-mile distance. The signals were mirroring Voyager 2. Whatever was out there wasn't just near the probe. It had somehow found a way to project its presence across multiple points in space. Simultaneously, scientists began calling it the phantom pulse, a repeating, low-frequency distortion buried deep within the cosmic noise, only detectable with high-precision filtering. But the terrifying part, these phantom pulses were being received on Earth, as if something out there was reflecting or even responding to the Voyager signal in real time. Triangulation attempts were inconclusive. It didn't seem to come from a single point, but rather from everywhere at once. It was like a net had been cast over our planet, listening, watching, and now answering back. The data didn't show an attack, no weapon, no threat, but it showed something possibly more dangerous: intent. This wasn't a random anomaly anymore. This was a global event, connected to a probe humanity launched in 1977, and something that chose to respond right now. The message was no longer confined to deep space. Now it had reached us. Voyager 2 was never supposed to find anything out there. But now, we know. Something found it. The signals, the patterns, the impossible movements. It all points to one chilling truth. Whatever is out there has been watching us longer than we dared to believe. And if this was just the first message, what's coming next might be far more than we can imagine. Stay curious, because in the next episode, we go deeper into the mystery. And what we uncover may change everything you thought you knew about our place in the universe.